Hey, I want you to picture two completely different worlds for a second. In one, everything is clean, it's orderly, it's quiet. In the other, it's just this constant battle with chaos, noise, and trash. Now, what if I told you we're not talking about different planets, but different cities, right here on Earth?
So, on one hand, you've got a city like Copenhagen. I mean, clean public toilets are never more than a 5-minute walk away. The roads? Smooth. Cars actually stay in their lanes. People even queue up politely on one side of the escalator. You can even get cash back for returning plastic bottles. Then, on the other hand, you have the daily reality in so many Indian cities. We're talking mountains of garbage, a non-stop concert of car horns, people cutting lines like it's a sport, and yeah, public urination being pretty common. The difference is, well, it's pretty jarring.
Okay, so that's the setup. And it begs the question, right? Why? Why does this huge difference exist? We often hear one very simple and maybe a little too simple explanation for it all. Is it that people in Denmark are just born more civilized or something? Is there some kind of genetic flaw or a deep, unfixable cultural problem in Indians that stops us from having good civic sense? You hear this idea a lot, but honestly, it completely misses the real story.
Well, the answer to that is a huge, resounding no. This isn't about some inherent flaw in people. The real problem is way more complex, and it's rooted in things we almost never talk about.
See, this whole civic sense thing, it's really just a symptom. It points to three much bigger, interconnected problems that are buried deep in our society. So let's break them down, one by one. The first problem starts with how we think about cleaning itself. Mahatma Gandhi once said that the person who cleans is like a mother to society, protecting it from disease. It's a really beautiful, noble idea. But, and this is a huge but, the reality couldn't be more different. In our society, the act of cleaning is often looked down on, treated as something shameful, a job for someone lower than you. And this, right here, is where the trouble really starts. And this stigma, it runs deep. For centuries, cleaning has been tied to a specific caste. Sanitation workers are often called garbage people. I mean, we literally label them with the trash that we create. In so many apartment buildings, you'll find separate elevators, even separate plates and glasses for domestic staff. Because of all this, we mentally disconnect from the act of cleaning. It's always seen as someone else's job, never our shared responsibility. Now, beyond that social stigma, there's another major piece of this puzzle. Just imagine you're driving on a nice 4-lane flyover, and then suddenly, with no warning, it just bottlenecks into 2 lanes. Can you honestly expect anyone to maintain perfect lane discipline in that kind of chaos? No way. And this is what we mean by systemic failure. People urinate in public, but are there clean, usable public toilets nearby? Most of the time, no. People jaywalk, but are there even safe footpaths or proper zebra crossings to begin with? The infrastructure itself is often broken. And when there isn't a single dustbin in sight, where exactly is that trash supposed to go? The point is, you can't just blame people for breaking the rules when the system makes it almost impossible to follow them. And all of this, all these system failures, they're tied to our third and maybe the toughest problem to solve, a huge empathy deficit. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? The wealthy can build these incredible apartments with pools and gyms, creating a perfect little bubble for themselves. And it just doesn't bother them that right outside their walls, there are mountains of garbage and slums. There's this massive disconnect, a total lack of a shared sense of community, where the health of the entire city matters, not just your own private palace. Okay, so yeah, we've laid out some pretty big problems. It can sound a little bleak, I know, but here's the good news. These are solvable issues. Countries all over the world have created successful blueprints for change, and we can absolutely learn from what they've done. Let's head back to Denmark for a second and see how they handle their waste. Here in India, we're still struggling to get people to separate waste into just 2 categories, wet and dry. Now look at this. In Denmark, citizens are required to sort their waste into 10 different categories. We're talking glass, metal, plastic, paper, even textiles and hazardous waste, all separated right at home. So you gotta ask yourself, what's really going on here? Are Danish people just 10 times more disciplined than us? Of course not. The difference is that they have been given a solid, clear, and reliable system to follow. It's that simple. And check this out. Denmark has this brilliant system called pant. When you buy a drink, you pay a small extra deposit. To get that money back, you just take the empty bottle to a reverse vending machine that you can find in any supermarket.
It's not about punishment. It's a simple, smart, reward-based system that makes sure almost every single bottle gets recycled. It just works.
Okay, now let's hop over to another country with a totally different but just as powerful idea. In Japan, there's a practice called osoji. It's a daily tradition where the students themselves clean their classrooms, the hallways, and yes, even the toilets.
And the impact of this is just huge. See, osoji isn't about saving a few bucks on janitors. It's way deeper than that. It's an educational tool. It teaches kids to respect shared spaces. It hammers home the idea that cleaning is a shared duty. And it completely wipes out that social stigma around cleaning from a really young age. It builds the foundation for a lifetime of civic sense.
So what do we have? We've got great systems on one hand and powerful education on the other. But what's the engine driving both of these? What's the real solution here, the thing that ties it all together? It's empathy.
You know, you can always go for the short-term fixes, fines, punishments, public shaming. But that stuff rarely creates lasting change. The real, long-term solution requires building good systems, educating kids from day one, and most importantly, actually fostering a genuine sense of empathy in the community.
So what's the bottom line? It's that true civic sense isn't about being afraid of getting a fine. It's about understanding that our actions affect other people. It's that simple thought of, I'm not going to litter because I know someone else will have to clean it up. It's holding a door open for the person behind you. That's the empathy that builds a better society.
Which leaves us with one last question to chew on. What's harder, changing a broken system or changing a society's heart? The thing is, you can't really fix one without the other. They're two sides of the same coin, and both require us to start seeing ourselves as part of something bigger.